So I will just tell you a little bit about myself. I am I'm working in the coffee business, green coffee, and I have been working on the export side and export companies, and also on the import side. And my job since 17 years is the quality control, quality assurance for green coffee. So I have had the chance to taste Robustas from all around the world. And I have been able to see the development in qualities during the last 10 years. And since my topic today is sharing with you information about fine Robustas, um, well, I would like to share my observations with you tonight. So, in general, I really don't like to have prejudices about prejudgments of anything, and that applies to coffee also. So, I really like to give coffees the opportunity to prove itself, and that is the case of Robusta. I really like to give Robusta an opportunity to prove itself. So because I have had the experience with some Arabica coffees that probably are not considered as very top quality, but they have done some improvements in the way they grow it, they process it, and they have surprised me. Well, so just to mention about a few realities about Robusta. So one reality is that Robusta represents more than 30% of the total world production of the volume produced of coffee. So that is an important amount, and we can, or at least I cannot ignore that. And also in Robusta, you have also different qualities and different clones or varieties as we have in Arabica. And another reality is, if we look back in history of Robusta, is that Robusta was many years ago like declared as a bad quality. And well, back then when that happened, it was like justified. So based on that, is like nobody was interested in really doing any investment in improvements in this quality, because if the consumers were really not willing to appreciate that coffee or to pay for more for that coffee, then there is also not interest from the producer side to do an effort to do improvements. Okay, another kind of myth that has affected the image of Robusta is our expectations. So we tend to have the same expectations for Robusta as we have for Arabica. And from the sensory point of view, these are really two totally different products. So we cannot compare pears with apples. If something I'm really aware of is that in Robusta, we really won't find, from the sensory point of view, we really won't find the same aroma complexity or the same aroma notes that we typically find in an Arabica. So the aromas we find in Robustas really belong to another aroma group, and it cannot be compared. It has to be treated as a different product. Okay, so each of these two products, Arabica and Robusta, have their properties, and they are like good for certain purposes. So Robusta may not be, due to the high extraction yield it has, may not be suitable for certain brewing methods or extraction methods, but it's good for other methods. And in the last 10 years, there are countries that have invested resources and have done a lot of improvements in the practices, farming practices, and also the processing method of Robusta. And they have really achieved very good results obtaining a very good product. For example, India, or in Indonesia, or in Central America, Guatemala, Mexico, Nicaragua, they are producing very fine Robustas that uh, these products receive very high prices. And they are normally not traded against the exchange in London, but traded against the exchange in New York. So they receive kind of a premium like Arabica. So in terms of, again, going back of expectations and appreciation of this product and why these special Robustas have achieved these uh, premiums is also because there are people, as well as we have Arabica, a community that loves Arabica. We have also other consumers that appreciate Robusta. And we have just to be like conscious, aware that our personal preferences, yeah, flavor preferences also depend on the culture. And from the sustainable point of view, considering that the volume produced for this of this coffee from the total world production, I mean, a lot of families depend on this product also, and they are really doing a lot of efforts to improve the quality of their coffees. So I personally really like to reward the farmers that really do an effort to improve the quality. And Robusta offers also a diversity of flavor profiles. And they just started, the Robusta producers, farmers are starting really to experiment more in that field with different varieties and processing methods, but there's still a lot to be done, and that is a really very large area and where we have a lot of room for improvement. Well, and I personally, like I repeat, I really, in the with farmers we work, I really have seen very good results, and I'm really just would like to see like more people supporting this field and this product, because there is still a lot to be done, research in that sense. Uh, and I think we should let us surprise. So, to me, that is like general information that I have from my observations and discussions with other coffee professionals that kind of have the same opinion about Robusta like me. And well, I'm really looking forward to hear if you have any comment or question.
I I strongly agree with what you're saying about being open-minded and trying new things, and where we are with coffee now is a result of people constantly questioning and challenging the way they do things. Um, I guess with Robusta, what I'm excited to know is what kind of taste notes you're getting from really good Robusta. Like, how sweet is it? What's the acidity? What sort of like the flavor profiles of a really good Robusta?
As the same as in Arabica, there are a lot of factors that will influence the profile, and one of those is also the altitude. mm. So it has always been like said that Robusta only grows at very low altitudes, but I mean we work with farms that grow Robusta and they are at above 3,300 meters and above. So in general, Robustas, it's said that they don't have acidity, but I have observed that these Robustas that are grown at a higher altitudes, they develop a very mild acidity. What you can expect from a fine Robusta, besides this mild acidity, is sweetness, smoothness. Um, the aroma group that were that you can find there is more like the chocolate or nuts, more in that direction. You will rarely find floral notes in a Robusta, but you can sometimes find some fruitiness. And probably the most important attribute of this coffee is the body, that is bold, heavy. And also what we're expecting is really a very clean cup and neutral.